This video is about calculating circumference and area of a circle and calculating the area of a regular polygon. So, circumference of a circle is the perimeter of our circle. The formula to find the circumference is d pi, which is diameter times pi, or 2 pi r, which is 2 times pi times the radius. The area of the circle is the coverage, is how much space it takes up. The formula is pi r squared, where r is our radius. So when we are doing circumference and area, we always need to have pi in our answers. So in number one, we have a circle with a radius of 19. So the circumference is 2 pi times 19, which would be 38 pi centimeters. The area, we need to square our radius, so it'd be pi 19 squared. When we do 19 squared, we're going to bring that in front of the pi. So we get 361 pi centimeters squared. In number two, we have the diameter, which makes our circumference really easy, just 52 pi inches. For the area, we need to know what our radius is. Remember that there are two radii that make up a diameter, so we can split that in half. So our radius is 26 and 26. So we would have pi 26 squared, which gets us 676 pi inches squared. In number three, it kind of looks like a donut. We want to find the area of the shaded region. So we want to find the area of the larger circle and subtract the area of the smaller circle. So the area of the bigger circle, we would have pi 15 squared minus the area of the small circle, pi 7 squared. So that gets us 225 pi minus 49 pi. Because they both have pi, we can combine those together by subtraction. We get 176 pi meters squared. The other part of our video is about polygons. So a regular polygon is a polygon that is equilateral and equiangular. So that means it's going to have equal angles and equal sides. The central angle is an angle whose vertex is at the center of a circle or a polygon. So here, if we draw these lines in, this would be our central angle. The measure of the central angle is always 360 divided by the number of sides. A radius then is a segment that's drawn from the center to the vertex of the polygon. So these lines that are forming our angle are actually a radius. So we'll call that R. The apothem then is a segment that is drawn from the center and is perpendicular to the side. So it's going to split that angle in half and be perpendicular to the side. It's also going to bisect the side length. To find the area of any polygon, our equation is area equals 1/2 apothem times perimeter. So let's use this formula to find our area. So A stands for apothem, P stands for the perimeter of the shape. So in a regular polygon with apothem A and perimeter B, the formula is A equals 1/2 apothem times perimeter. Your apothem is a perpendicular line that's drawn to the center of the polygon. So if we draw in our triangle on each of these polygons with the two radius, the line that comes down the center in each of these and bisects and is perpendicular is the apothem. So once we have that, we need to know what the angle is at the top of each triangle. So to get the angle, it is going to be 360 divided by the number of sides, and then we have to divide that in two because the apothem is split in half. So 360 divided by 5 is 72. Divide by 2 gets us 36 degrees. So in a pentagon, it's 36 degrees. In a hexagon, we have 360 divided by 6 divided by 2. So 360 divided by 6 is 60, divided by 2 is 30 degrees. And for an octagon, we have 360 divided by 8 divided by 2. So 360 divided by 8 is 45, divided by 2 gets us 22.5 degrees. So then we can either use trigonometry or special right triangles to get our apothem and or side measures so that we can complete the problem. So let's look at some examples. In number 5, find the area of a regular hexagon with a perimeter of 60. So if the perimeter is 60 and there are 6 sides, that means each side has a length of 10. When we draw in our radius and our apothem, it's going to split 10 into 5 and 5. Now, remember for a hexagon, to get our angle measure, 360 divided by 6 divided by 2. So 360 divided by 6 is 60, divided by 2 is 30 degrees. So it's always going to be 30 degrees in a hexagon. If we focus on one part of the triangle, we can use our 30, 60, 90 triangle. So across from the 30 is S, which makes the apothem S root 3. So if S is 5, our apothem would be 5 root 3. So now we have our perimeter, P, and we have our apothem, which is 5 root 3. So we can do our area. So our area is 1/2 times 5 root 3 times 60. Don't put 5 root 3 in the calculator, just put 5. So 1/2 times 5 times 60 is going to get us 150. Then we add the root 3 at the end, centimeters squared for our area. Number 6, a regular octagon has an apothem with a length of 12 meters. So number 6, we're going to draw our triangle in, and we can also draw the apothem in. And we know it bisects the side. We know the apothem is 12. To get our angle measure this time, we have 360 divided by 8 divided by 2, which gets us 22.5 degrees. So this time we're not going to use special right triangles. Instead, when we focus on this triangle, we're going to use trigonometry to find that missing side. So if 22 is our angle, we have the opposite and the adjacent side. So the tangent of 22.5 is equal to the opposite side, which we'll call x, over 12. Because the number is on the bottom, that means we are going to multiply. So we get 12 tangent of 22.5 equals x. So if we go to our calculator, make sure you hit mode and make sure that degree has the black box around it. And then we put in 12 tangent of 22.5. We're going to round to the nearest tenth. So that's going to round to 5.0. So if this is 5.0 and this is 5.0, the whole side is 10. So if we know we have a side that's 10, our perimeter is going to be 8 sides times 10, which is 80. So now we have our apothem, which is 12, and our perimeter, which is 80, and we can find our area. So we have area is equal to 1/2 of 12 times 80. So when we multiply those together, we get 200 meters squared. Number 7, a pentagon has a radius of 9 millimeters. So our radius is already drawn in. We can draw our apothem, and then we only have our half triangle to focus on. So if we are finding our angle measurement, we would do 360 divided by 5 divided by 2, and we get 36 degrees for our angle. So we need to find two things. We need to find We label our sides opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. We're looking for x and y. So we're going to have to do trigonometry twice. So to find the apothem, which is x, we're going to do the cosine of 36 equals x over 9. We're going to multiply 9 cosine of 36 equals x. Go to your calculator, 9 cosine of 36. And that's going to round to 7.3. Then to find our side, we are going to use sine. So the sine of 36 equals y over 9. 9 sine of 36 equals y. So in our calculator, 9 sine of 36 is 5.3. So if each part is 5.3, the whole side is 10.6. So using the 10.6, we can find our perimeter. So there are 5 sides times 10.6. So our perimeter is going to equal 53. And we have our apothem. So if we have our apothem, we have our perimeter, we can now do the area. So the area is equal to 1/2 times 7.3 times 53. And that's going to get us 193.45 millimeters squared. Number 8, a nonagon has a side length of 22. So we don't need to draw the whole nonagon. All we need is a triangle. So when we set up our triangle, we have our triangle of our nonagon. We can draw in the apothem, and we know that that splits the side that's 22 into 11 and 11. So to get the angle at the top of our nonagon, we have 360 divided by 9 divided by 2, which will get us 20 degrees. So if I need to find my apothem, I have the opposite and the adjacent. So the tangent of 20 is equal to 11 over x, which means this time we are going to be dividing. So we have x equals 11 over the tangent of 20, which is 30.2. To get our perimeter in a nonagon, there are 9 sides. So we have 9 times 22, which gets us a perimeter of 198. So now that we have both pieces we need, the apothem and the perimeter, we can do our area. So area is equal to 1/2 times 30.2 times 198. So when we multiply those together, we get 2,989.8 meters squared. In number 6, the measure of an apothem of an octagon is 14 centimeters and the area is 1,697.5 centimeters squared. Find the perimeter of the octagon. So remember our area equation is 1/2 apothem times perimeter. So we already know the area and we already know the apothem. So we can put those into the equation to find the perimeter. Half of 14 is 7. So 1,697.5 is equal to 7p. We can divide by 7. And when we divide by 7, we get is equal to 242.5, so 242.5 centimeters. In number 7, the area of a pentagon is 582 millimeters squared, and the measure of one side of the pentagon is 13 millimeters. Find the apothem of the pentagon. So we know area is equal to 1/2 apothem times perimeter. We don't know the perimeter, but we can find it easily because there are 5 sides times the side length of 13 is 65. So we have 582 equals 1/2 apothem times 65. Half of 65 is 32.5. So we have 582 equals 32.5 times A. We can divide then, and we get A, we're going to have to round, is 17.9. So we get 17.9 millimeters.